What's that one thing you always wanted to do? Travel to Iceland to see the northern lights. Worth every penny. If you're a minimalist you can do it cheap too. I flew WoW Air for $99 each way out of Boston. Ended up booking 6 days before my trip. Stayed in a hostel. Had an amazing trip. Other things I highly recommend is rent a car and do the Golden Circle. Visit the Black Sand Beach. Hot spring, not Blue Lagoon, but a local one. Visit the Penis Museum. Get a hot dog. Icelandic hot dogs are so much better than New York hot dogs. Use the rented car to drive out of the city and look at the lights. No need to do a tour. Ended up costing me more to fly from FL to Boston than from Boston to Iceland. But easily one of my top 5 spontaneous trips I've taken. I've always wanted to do a trip like the one you described. How much time does it require? I have always thought 2 weeks should be enough to do all the Golden Circle with a rental car. I have this intense longing for extended international travel before having kids. I would love to take 6 months to a year off work and solo travel Europe and parts of Asia. I've traveled in short 1 to 2 week bursts before and can afford the travel. But for some reason this sense of responsibility and fear of losing my income is holding me back. Happy Mutual Cake Day. What if you got hired onto a cruise ship or airline, even for a short while? Summer's coming and they may hire extra help. Get paid to do something you love. Have been working 60 to 70 hours a week since college. I have a bit of money saved up with nothing really to spend it on. Feeling burnt out and want some time off to live a brief carefree life. Scared that taking time off work will cap my income potential, but on the other hand I don't even really know what I'm saving/investing so much for. It's an okay problem to have, I guess. Skydive. A tandem dive is usually pretty affordable and requires no real training. $100 very well spent on an unforgettable memory. Do it. Be a healthy weight. I hear you. Losing weight is hard. Just remember, the place you are didn't happen overnight, so neither will the changes you make. Just keep moving forward. Take those concrete shoes off. Shoot a gun. I just did for the first time, and I'm way over 40. Go to a range where it's safe and try it. Afford life's necessities. That's a big one. I wish I could help you. Send me a GameStop or two. Date my crush. Do it. You'll always regret not trying if you never try. Just take that leap. Publish a novel and have become a movie or show. That would be so awesome. I don't have the imagination to do all of that. I want to be the first person to use a porta potty, like one that's fresh off the assembly line. I don't know why it strikes me as so decadent, but it does. But are those really bragging right afterwards? Lol. Just drive around the country. That sounds amazing. Something like Anthony Bourdain. Travel the world, try different foods, and talk about life with people. Yes, I like those shows, but always think it would be so neat to do myself. Some of those foods though, in my pass. Lol. Have a career, not just a job. Try to figure out what makes you happy or energizes you, and how you can make that a job. See a need, fill a need. I wish it were as easy as wishing you a happy cake day. Many redditors here are writing realistic things. I'd go for an unrealistic one. Time travel. With time travel, I'd be able to rectify my most severe mistakes in the past. Hug my dad one more time. I'm sorry to hear that. See the Grand Canyon. That's on my list too. Dunno why I never have, but we both should make it happen for ourselves. Go travel outside the US. My dad can't fly since he gets airsick. When I do travel outside the US, I think the first place I'm heading is Italy, then France. My dream vacation is to go to Hawaii, but that'll have to wait because dad can't fly, like I said earlier. What about a cruise? That's an easy way to see several places without flying and having to find hotels, etc. You should take your dad and go for it. Dad also gets seasick. Can't do that either. To ladies at once. 2 chicks at the same time. Man. Fucking A. My dream is to perform an act of kindness and promptly disappear like a puff of smoke. You can definitely do some random acts of kindness and remain anonymous. Just watch the people around you and see what they need. A new umbrella, a walking stick, some flowers. Then place these things while no one's looking. If love to do these too. Some people try around their birthday to do one act for every year they're turning. Sounds really fun. The most important element is to never mention the kind act to anyone. Starting a comic book store 100%. It seems fun to be the owner of all these Marvel comics, DC posters, and Star Wars figures. You know, seems like a better hobby than career. Something to do with your money, rather than to make money. As weird as this sounds, I've always wanted to break into a musical number with people at work, except one person doesn't know about it. We'd rehearse for months without telling one person. Then one day, just doing it, the satisfaction of seeing them utterly confused how everyone was in on it, and they're in the middle of it. Yes, that sounds amazing. Motorcycle ride the entire Pan America highway, then around the world. That's gonna definitely give you a permanent windblown look. You're really seeing the big picture here. Quit my job and live far from the city. Drive a F1 car or fly a jet. There are places that allow you to drive exotic or fancy cars. The flying thing will be a little harder. Not talking about fancy or exotic cars, but actual Formula 1 car. It's hard to get to drive them. I'm not sure, but I think you can in eBay! Live in a house. You'll get there. Be happy. Make a list of all the things you are thankful for. Keep it and add to it when you remember other things. Also, someone said what if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you thanked God for today? That hit home for me. I've always wanted to visit Norway with my grandmother, since her family history is a small step from there. Sadly her health has declined to a point to where she can't even leave the state. That's sad. Can you FaceTime her at least? If you can't visit, the FaceTime would mean the world to her, I'm sure. Learn to sail. Retire to the South Pacific. There you go. There'll be plenty of people to teach you sailing there. At least visit if nothing else. Get laid. Nice. Ride a skateboard. Always been scared that I'll lose balance and fall. Try it while squatting down. It helps you get used to it before you stand up. Meet an online friend. Have you seen them? Just wanna meet in person? That's nerve-wracking and exciting all at the same time. I know what they look like, the town they live in, their name, and more stuff about them. I started venting to them as a pseudo big brother, since my relationship with my actual big brother isn't the best. Not bad, we just never talk and hang out. He's 5 years older than me, so we live in the same state and bond over a lot of stuff, and I plan on hanging out with him once I go to college. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but I've known him long enough to know he's a cool guy. Visit Times Square and almost get hit by a taxi, and then yell in a Brooklyn accent, "EI, I'm walking here," while angrily gesturing. May sound silly, but I always wanted to try it. I think of that scene often. Don't forget to slam your hand on the taxi hood. Go into space. To act as a zombie in movies. Have a professional wrestling match. I used to dream of being a WWE superstar when I was little. I'm older now, and I don't follow it like I used to, but I still think it would be cool to just once walk out to the ring with a Bad Bud theme song. Go in, put on a show, take a few bumps, and walk out. Doesn't even have to be WWE, even just a local promotion. Just to say I did it, so the little kid in me could live his dream. See the aurora borealis. Be content with my life. Start a band. Build an actual, real life, fully functioning portal. Could be cool, could be scary. I'll let you try it out first and see. Well, it's one to do for me, but get married and travel to all the places I want to go on my bucket list. Fall in love and feel loved, but at this point, I'll settle for selling classic cars. Pet a live tiger. Draw on a wall. I've never drawn on a wall as a kid, and I was a obedient kid. See if you can find a house being built and, well, before paint. What's it hurt? Maybe you could ask permission. I opened a new location of my business and we built I'll let all of the employees come and write whatever that wanted on the studs before the sheetrock was hung. Everyone loved that. Live in a penthouse in a big city. Visit one of my best friends that I made through a game. That would be cool. You all have other things in common too. Yay, he introduced me into rock climbing and photography. Dive with sharks. Still hope I'll get to do it on my bucket list. I want to swim with dolphins. Close but no cigar I guess. But I get to keep all of my body parts. Lol. Write a genre. Make it into a movie series and act in said movie. Go to a grocery store and be able to buy everything I wanted at that moment without worrying about the money. Letting my mom to pick all the things she wanted to. Living in a third world country, it's hard when you go to a store and just can buy two little shits that it cost a lot of money. I got a couple of things I've always wanted to do. I'll share one that is very feasible. And hopefully I get to do it once the Rona has calmed down and we are all back to normal. Okay, so I wanna make a really big sandwich. I haven't done it because I can't really justify the cost. What makes this sandwich expensive is that I intend to buy a full cheese wheel, a full block of ham, a couple of baguettes and 2 lettuces. So from that ingredient list I'm sure you can gather that I want to link up the baguettes, use lots of cheese and lots of ham. TLDR, big ham and cheese sandwich. I wish I could visit an all-you-can-eat ice cream buffet. Travel like a hippie. Squeeze boobs. Kick gum and chew ass. Walk alone in the streets at night. You way braver than you need to be. Depending on your location it might be okay. I live in a really insecure country. You can't be entirely safe. Not even in the morning or afternoon. But I hope someday I can go to a secure country and try that. I'm a night owl, but I can't go out at night and just thinking about doing it sounds amazing. Meet an elephant. I actually cry whenever I think about meeting one. Fear so amazing. Play mini golf at West Edmonton Mall. Get 6-pack abs. I've always been that one fat but athletic kid, but I think if I keep discipline in my diet I can reach that goal. Write a medieval fantasy novel series. The writing you should go ahead and do. You can worry about anything else associated later. I'm currently on page 88 of my medieval fantasy novel after 3 years. And it's total garbage. But it's my total garbage. Bathe the streets in the blood of my enemies. I've always wanted to break a beer bottle on someone's head or slap someone with a sandwich. Or even a raw fish. I don't want to murder someone or anything. Just comically and justifiably clean someone's clock with a perishable item. Kill my girlfriend's stepdad. Star in a porn. Go to Japan. A pool filled with women instead of water. Ride a motorcycle off a cliff then parachute away during a high-speed chase. Each of those things by themselves would be cool, but them together, wow. Build an animal shelter. Many years ago Scott Adams wrote in one of his books about putting a desire into the universe and then see what happens. I said okay, I want to get a standing ovation. I was in a quartet at the time and we weren't the best, shall we say. Along came contest. We came in last. But the show afterwards had the last place up first for the show. Reverse order. We were ready to crawl in a hole. We only really knew 2 songs and everybody had heard it at least 3 times that afternoon. What to do? First option was to say thanks. No thanks. Second option was to suck it up, buttercup. We came up with a third option. We went to our table. We had 15 minutes. Rewrote all the words to the song as a parody directed to the judges. Went to the restaurant bathroom to test it out. Got on stage. And received a standing ovation from the entire room. The judges just said, now, if you had sung like that during the contest. Close bracket. Best moment in my life. From coming in last. Go naked swimming in the sea in a hot country. Shrooms. I've never met anyone who's done them. It's more of a weed high or more of an LSD high. Or LSD high, but it's different to LSD. LSD you're more in control, but shrooms take you on the ride, and if you have a bad trip all you can do is ride it out, and that's why I want to do them. I've done LSD and had a bad trip, haha. Be involved in a big time heist, not just like a bank, but a whole convoluted plot where we kidnap a dignitary, steal a private jet, and like empty out a first world nation's gold reserve. Or maybe write and direct a feature film. I've written a few screenplays and did a little work on 2 of a friend's films, but my lifelong dream is to make my own film. I mean, if these shitty multi-million-dollar Hollywood CGI jerk-off dumpster fires can keep jettying made, why can't some of these studios invest a few $100,000 into independent projects? We don't need another The King Avengers movie. We need art. Your mom. Really? Exclamation mark. That's all you got? I really want to get into these master's programs I've applied to and am interviewing for. And then I want to get into a PhD program like my sister. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.